So I bought this chain sharpener, $100 online, and it comes with a manual that I can't read because the letter's too small. And we're going to just try it out real quick. I just kind of eyeballed the angles. I set this one at about 30 both sides, and this angle at 60 both sides, kind of dressed up the wheel. And this was a completely wrecked 3/8 chain that was totally rocked. And I'm guessing I have to dress the rakers just a little bit. But since I've got a little bit of daylight, what I'm going to do is fairly quickly just set it on a saw and see whether or not I can make it cut some wood, firewood. Now, why would I do that? I know it's not perfect. I've got that old one in the back, that Nielsen. It works. This one gives me a little bit more control, and it's cheap. If I like it, I'll go buy a more expensive version of that design. But for now, we'll just see if this one works. So far, what I've seen is the adjustments are pretty easy to figure out. You know, that I wish was a little more stiff. You just can't pull back on the chain too hard. A lot of plastic. One of those you get what you pay for type deals for $100. And the guide doesn't really bite the chain as hard as I like, but it does, even though it has a little flex in there, I found that it's pretty consistent on what it does. So once you figure out how to get what you're looking for with the angle, it'll do it every time. You know, it's a little bit of driver finesse. I went a little bit too deep at first. And if you like a lot of gullet, there's a lot of gullet. I'll just see what it does. Probably too much. Let's just give it a shot and see what it does. The reason I want to do it is I've got a box of 28-inch chains that have been filed on or rocked or over the last few years. And if I can kind of get them back into useful condition, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? So what I'm going to do is I just ran that grinder a little bit. So I've got a chain that's on the 572. It's got a little bit of time on it. I was using it for bucking the wood here. And it was one that I touched up with a file. So it's not the best, and it's got some time on it. But isn't that the test? It's a chain that was worked, got sharpened, and now it's getting to the point where it needs to be sharpened again. And if I put it on the grinding wheel, do I get an improvement? So we're going to do a rather unscientific set of tests here. I'm just going to cut a couple of cookies with the chain I have on the 572, and then just put that chain I just finished running through the grinding wheel, and then see what happens. So, of course, we've got to get the saw started. Alright, I'm going to change over to the chain that's just got a wheel to it. I didn't touch the rakers at all. Now I suspect I'm going to have to touch the rakers on that chain, but let's just give it a shot. Well, nothing happens without drama. Turns out that chain that I pulled out of the box also had a kink in it. It wouldn't go through the bar, so I had to hammer on a little bit. So now I've got two fixes on this chain. One, we'll see if it works. Still not aggressive enough. So I need to take even more off those rakers. But it's a starting point. It's getting dark. So we'll experiment a little more with that grinding wheel. See if I can't get a little better cut. That's much better. So we're gaining. So what I'll do is I'll measure what that is. But it's getting that blend of being aggressive enough to actually make something happen, but not so aggressive that it's herky-jerky where I don't want a bore cut with it. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back and measure that chain and then set up another one on the grinding wheel and see if I can replicate it. And maybe go a little more aggressive. Put a little more time into the rakers. But that's beginning to form a good chip. And I haven't crossed that barrier to where I don't want a bore cut with it because it's too grabby. So, progress. I'll make a short video.